Welcome to Wig Rehab. This is a heat-friendly wig that has seen better days. Her ends are very frizzy and crunchy and fried. I've had this wig for a year and a half, but I don't wear the same wig every day on a daily basis. When I maintain them and I add heat, that lasts me for a while because I alternate my wigs out. Now, there is no tried and true answer for me to tell you how long you can go between having to maintain your heat-friendly wigs. That depends on the clothes that you wear, the length of your wigs. If you've got a longer wig, they're going to get fried ends a little faster than a short wig. That also depends on how long you're wearing it. If you're wearing a wig for 12-hour shifts every single day, then yours is going to need maintenance pretty fast. This video is for you, Lori, and this is 7 from Aesthetica, if I didn't tell y'all that. I just have her tacked down to my wig head. She has all these beautiful curls, and I knew when I bought this one that this was a style that I could recreate. That's important because when you have a heat-friendly wig, they're going to need their ends maintained, or else you're going to get a frizzy, fried mess. Frizzy ends, crunchy ends that you're going to need to do something to. See this right here? That's what we're talking about. So Lori asked how to handle tangles. So we're going to do that first. I like to hold them so that I'm not putting tension on that cap. I'm just using a wide tooth comb. You definitely want to use that. You don't want to use a regular hairbrush on a heat-friendly wig because the fibers can stretch. The main important thing is I hold on to the bunch of hair and then work the tangle out. You're going to need to brush your wig out pretty much after every wear. It's a good habit to go ahead and brush her tangles out, and then she'll be ready for your next wear. If you're not ready to do a full maintenance on her, which that means adding heat and recurling her ends or straightening her ends, then what I would do is after I have brushed out all of my tangles, then I like to use the Simply Styling spray. Really concentrate on the ends. I don't put it up here on the top. If you use too much of this, it'll be greasy. So I put some in the palms of my hand. I just swallowed it. And then I will distribute that on the ends. And that helps with tangles. It helps to kind of prevent tangles because it's a silicone lubricant spray. And so it keeps those fibers from rubbing against each other so much and causing all the friction. I don't use that every single time because it can build up and then you'll have to wash your wig more than you really want to. So Lori, get you some of that. That is kind of what I do in between maintenance phases. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what I mean when I talk about maintaining a heat-friendly wig. So once we have brushed her tangles out, and I say this till I'm blue in the face, you have to get a heat tool that you can dial the temperature in. Your old curling iron that just has regular, medium, and high, don't use that. Use one that you can dial the temperature in. This wig says that it's heat safe to 350 degrees. I am not on 350 degrees. I am on 280. And the reason why is because that is my sweet spot. I start at 280. If I get a ornery wig and I need to increase my temperature, then I do that in very small increments, maybe like 10 degrees at a time. But 280 has always worked really well for me. So I don't see any reason to encroach on 350 because the hotter you get, the bigger chance that you're taking that you're going to melt your wig. And nobody wants that. Some people swear by heat protectant. I'm of the mindset that I don't like to add products on my wigs that are going to build up and make me have to wash them because I'm a lazy wig wearer, y'all. I don't want to wash my wig more than I have to. So what I like to do is I like to straighten my ends first because that helps me smooth my ends down before I curl them. So that's what we're going to do. I'm using a Longe straightening iron. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as you can dial it in. And you can see I have mine set on the lowest temperature, which is 280. I mist the ends with water, pretty good amount. So I'm going to smooth those ends with my flat iron first. So that just kind of melts. That's what you're doing. You're melting those fibers. It melts those fibers back in line how they're supposed to be and gets rid of that frizz. Now, it's straightening out my curl, but that is how you make her look brand new again. Now, you're probably thinking, you're just straightening that wig out. I am. I'm straightening the wig out. Can you see how much better that looks? We have smoothed those ends down. If you're not good with curling with a flat iron, you can curl with your curling iron. So let's show you one like that. Curling with my curling iron on those ends. Those ends are the main thing that we need to make sure we get in line. Get those ends with heat, and that melts those fibers back down how they're supposed to be. Here's the difference between curling our hair and curling a heat-friendly wig. I just drop this curl in my hand and I have a fan. This is the magic trick. I cool this curl in my hand. And that is what locks it in. So if you've got a heat-friendly wig and you've tried styling it and you're like, this is for the birds, I can't do it. You need a fan. See how perfect that curl is? And guess what? That is locked in forever and always until I redo it, until I add heat again. We're going to make this wig look good as new. Okay? Still working on this wig. I've gotten the back layer done. I like to use a clip to clip up the top layers because you don't want to leave any part out. This is not a quick process because this is a lot of hair. I've been working on this for about 45 minutes and I'm only on the bottom layer. The top layer is not nearly as much, so that should go faster. I like doing this on a mannequin head so that I can see everything better and make sure, because usually the back is the part that's the worst and you can't do that very good on the back of your head. So with a mannequin head, you can work your way around and make sure to hit every spot. I'm gonna put this somewhere else. Now, let me do one more pass. I like to heat it up and brush it, run the comb through, and get those ends perfect. And that way, I know my ends are without frizz before I restyle it. So that is a huge tip. Not a quick process because you can't just curl it like you do your hair or you won't have great results. So if you're good with using your flat iron to curl, then you can do that. And that way I'm not depending on this motion right here to be enough to smooth those ends. Or you can use your curling iron. Mine's set on 290 right now. I used to try just with the curling iron, and I thought that was enough heat when I would just recurl it to smooth the ends, and it really doesn't. You still have those frizzy, rowdy ends, but you have a fresh, pretty curl, but the ends aren't smooth. So this is really important, I think, to smooth your ends and then recurl it. That's the part that I really wanted y'all to know, is that when you smooth your ends first and then curl, you're getting rid of those frizzy, dry ends, which is what we're after when we're trying to maintain our heat-friendly wig. Straighten it first and then do your curl. So that's how you make your wig brand new. That's how you maintain a heat-friendly wig. It is not for somebody that does not like to fool with hair at all. This needs to be done every so often to make her look good again. Okay? All right. Bye, y'all.